All right, welcome to the Ray Fernando and Ronald Manick AI Tech Salon show. That's right. This is my inaugural show that I'm starting with with Ronald, and Ronald's actually currently out today. So we're trying to rebrand and go with the new show name AI Tech Salon. And today we're going to cover news for the week that's been going on in AI. And so definitely follow along because we got some really cool little stories and updates going on there as well. And then also I'm just going to showcase a little bit of some apps and things that I've been seeing on the Twitterverse this year, and then give you a little bit of an update on kind of where we're going with the show. And of course, if you stick to the end, you'll find out who the winner is of the AirPods Max. That's right. I'm giving away my AirPods Max, and it's kind of like a first world problem is because for those who don't know, this is one of the few devices in my life that basically still has lightning left. And, you know, I was able to find a cable to help me connect. Most of my life actually is completely USB-C-ified. So if you have that problem, you kind of know. But if you don't, it's okay. You can benefit just by staying live on the stream. So what I'm doing actually is all you have to do is go down here below, dub.sh/win-airpods-live, and fill out that survey and put the email in. So right now, there's about 41 people who are currently eligible to win because they've basically completed the survey and put their email on that list. And so if you do that before the end of the show, you have a chance to win these AirPods Maxes. So like these are completely usable. You could pair them with your phone and then they'll be like legit. So yeah, you'll be maxing right now in your life. So yeah, so this is the AI Tech Salon. We're going to be going over some of this news and things. And so let's just get started. I love this beat. Sounds so good. Let's ride it out. Cool. So my bad for starting a little bit later, but there was a little bit of a blue screen of death action going on all over the internet today. And actually, if you haven't heard, people actually have had flights canceled. If you've been trying to go to the airport today, anywhere around the world, all your flights are being delayed. And it's actually due to an issue from CrowdStrike. They delivered an update, and it turns out a file actually has a bunch of null characters inside of it, and it's completely empty. And what is happening is when the system is loading up, it's actually causing the Windows machine to just basically do a blue screen of death. And for those who aren't familiar, the blue screen of death basically means when the system, for Windows specifically, is loading the kernel drivers at the operating system level. When that's being loaded into the memory, boom, it freaks out. It does not affect Mac users. It affects only Windows users. And there seems to be a temporary workaround for this to happen. So yeah, welcome to the stream, GT Sky Moon 22. I appreciate that. Yeah, so if that's kind of what's been going on in the world, and there's been some madness as you can see. And if you've been affected, definitely hit the thumbs up or hit the like. It's been kind of annoying because actually I've heard stories about people going to the airport and they're literally trying to say like, no, can I just reboot your computer real quick? That's all I need to do. And should be able to get back up. So they pushed another update, and apparently the computers can sometimes still grab the update from that. So if you are affected by it, there are official channels that CrowdStrike has for you to reach out to them, and the support can walk you through it. So definitely feel bad for the people who are affected, and does not affect the Mac users in that sense. So that's an interesting little thing there. So the next thing that we have going on our plate are, I was brought to this by Ellie, and Ellie is an awesome human being. For those who don't know, he has this app called Get Inbox Zero, and it's basically using AI to like automate your inbox. And so one of the cool things he told me was through this post here is that he created this 4 videos. Let's just go ahead and play one of them because it's just really interesting. So it's like, it just sounds like a normal.
You don't have to. Let's talk about it. This AI email tool is a game changer for busy entrepreneurs. It automates repetitive email tasks, understands plain English instructions.
So here's the kicker. None of these people are real.
POV, you struggle with overflowing inboxes and endless email threads like me. Let's talk about it. As a business owner, your time is precious. You can't afford to waste hours managing email. That's where Inbox Zero comes in.
Entrepreneurs, stop scrolling. Inbox Zero will change your life. This AI email automation tool streamlines your workflow so you can focus on growing your business. It's like having a...
Isn't this crazy?
If you're a busy entrepreneur or startup founder like me, stop scrolling. This is for you. Inbox Zero is an AI email.
You can like
automation
totally
tool that
tell that it's AI written because like there's no like breathing and like the edits are kind of weird. But basically, it's a tool from this Captions app, and it basically lets you generate captions for your app. All you have to do apparently is just kind of feed it a script or say something with video, and then you basically get this like free AI influencer to promote your stuff. So if you have an app and you're building an app, I would definitely recommend checking them out. I'm going to definitely check them out. I might even do a separate live stream. I am not paid by any of these people. I'm just here to showcase apps and kind of show you things that I'm seeing along the thing that I find really interesting. But with these types of trends as well, it's usually pretty useful for the first people who use them and like to get your stuff out there as much as possible. Once everyone starts using them, everyone kind of knows it's AI and the kind of gig is over. So this is your rare opportunity to kind of hop on a trend before other people start, hopping on that trend and using that type of technology or that system for achieving this goal. So that was really interesting. I appreciate Ellie kind of giving me the heads up on that. For those who don't know, the next thing that's kind of come up on the plate is that GPT 4.0 has released, let me back that up. OpenAI has now released a new model, and it's based off GPT 4.0, and it's called the mini model. And so a lot of people in the last day have been playing around with the model, and it's actually really interesting because it's 15 cents per million input tokens, and it's 60 cents per million output tokens. So that's a huge reduction compared to GPT 3.5. And notably, if you go to OpenAI's like ChatGPT, GPT 3.5 is not even listed anymore. So everything is GPT 4.0, 4.0 mini, and going up further. So for those, you can get to play around with it. It definitely appears to be a smaller model. I've been using it in my app called Truth Torch. And so I've been using it for analysis. And I've noticed for me, the model is a little too small because I'm doing a lot of analysis on things, and it doesn't seem to be as detailed as the GPT 4.0 model. And so you can try to find use cases. I think they have recommendations for like PDF parsing, voice type of parsing, and other types of modalities that they're still going to release. But I just thought I'd give you a heads up. That kind of came into my radar this week. So it looks like GT Sky Moon, my brother in the US, can't travel because he's in LA due to that blue screen of death. Oh, what a bummer, man. I hope he gets home soon. That's pretty much a bummer. And just for those who are tuning in, I'm actually doing an AirPods giveaway. So that's right. Yes, I'm actually giving away these AirPods right here, AirPods Max. And so all you have to do is basically enter the survey. It's probably easier to type the URL that's currently on the screen right now. It's dub.sh/win-airpods-live. And once you fill out that survey, you'll be eligible to enter. So as of right now, there's about 41 or 42 people here who have, I'm just going to getting that list right now. 41 people who are currently eligible to win. So it just takes like less than a minute to fill out the survey. And it's because we're starting a new podcast, myself and Ronald. It's called the AI Tech Salon. And so your input is going to be really super helpful to determine that type of thing. And as a thank you, I'm going to give you an AirPods, so the AirPods Max. So I'm actually going to announce the winner at the end of this stream. So if you stay towards the end, it's probably another like 15 minutes till we end of the stream. And then we'll see who the actual winner is. And so we're going to go through this thing where we're going to pick that live. So if you haven't had a chance, definitely head down to dub.sh/win-airpods-live. And that link should direct you to to fill out the survey. So Roman, hey, what's up, Roman? A good friend of the show. Almost all my stuff at Apple still uses lightning cables. Hey, yeah, this could be for you. For me, all my stuff is USB-C because I'm that tech bro, but yeah, this is one of the few things. I think this and then my keyboard is still Lightning, so that's kind of, or like the only two. Well, I guess my also trackpad too are like the three things left. So once I get rid of this guy, then it'll be that's kind of where we're going with this. So up next, I thought this was really interesting. So this guy, his name is Riley, and what's really interesting about this story here is the fact that this guy doesn't really code, and he just was really extremely persistent about trying to like get an app out there. And what he did was he was using Claude, he was using Replit, he's using Google Firebase to just produce an app, and he overused Claude so much that he created another account, because there's only so many queries you can do, even if you are paying, that you use up the entire amount. And what's really cool about that is just the persistence here, that if you really want to do something and publish an app, you can definitely do it. And I think that's just an interesting lesson to learn from this gentleman, because we all kind of feel sometimes that we don't have enough knowledge or whatever. And if you really want to get something done, the tools today right now are powerful enough to help you just to get something out there. And what you learn along the process is today you may ship like a broken app or may not have the top security, but that doesn't mean it doesn't work. It means you can open yourself up to keep learning more and learning more. And so I imagine like several months from now, 6 months from now, he's going to learn about design paradigms, and he's going to learn about, okay, oh, this is how you're supposed to talk to a database to make this faster. And like every single breakthrough is like a big adrenaline rush. And so I advise you, if you're kind of fearful for starting, or you have too much negativity in your head of people telling you can't do anything, I think this is a time, we're in a very, very special era that you can actually go start picking up ChatGPT or start using Claude, Sonnet 3.5, and just start coding, start getting in there and start playing with stuff, and start to just really understand how some of this stuff works. And if you don't understand, I think the more you don't know, the more that you can actually ask the language model to tell you what you don't know, so that you don't have to pretend to know something. Just say, hey, I don't understand this. Can you then explain this at a 5th grade level? Can you make something simpler? And so as an example of that, I was like, okay, language models are really hard. And one of the most challenging things to learn right now has been GPT-2. So trying to code GPT-2 from scratch. And one of the series that I'm doing right now is this actual exercise of following Andre Carpathy, is to code GPT-2 from scratch using MLX. And so in this type of thing, I'm actually using a language model to teach me, like, what is a token? What is a tensor? What is like all this stuff that's interrelated? And then, explain it to me like in 5th grade terms. So it's making this new analogy for me about like a backpack and like a token and the relationship with the backpack having pockets. And all of these things are now visually in my head, and they kind of help draw these out. So I definitely would recommend that you kind of go check that out and, kind of get on that as well. Couldn't you pin the link? It isn't working. Oh, is it not? Let me see. It should be live on the Dub SH. See, when AirPods live. Let me see if I'll put the link right now on the stream, and then let's see. Let me just try it right now. Dub.sh. I wonder if you have to do, yeah, it still works. Okay, let's see. I just wanted to get this technical. I don't know if I could save. Can I save this? Dub.sh. I've put this into the chat, and I wonder if that's going to work. I can also try a QR code, and because I know Typeform lets me do, or actually, I use dub.sh, which is really cool. And sometimes they give me like a QR code. And let me see if I can download a QR code. And so if I can open up this QR code and just place it onto the screen, maybe you could see it here. I don't know if this is actually helpful, but I do want to help the people who are right now, maybe on a desktop or something, who are watching the stream. You should be able to like scan this image here. I'll just put this off to the right, and then I'll make myself like a little bit more out of the way so that you can actually scan it and do stuff with it. And so let me see if I can make a smaller version of myself. Just get out of the way. Bloop. So if you are here, definitely try to see if you can download that, scan that right now. Just definitely appreciate folks giving it a try. If not, you can also hit up, likely your browsers are blocking the domain. That's possibly as well. Yes, definitely appreciate everyone else trying to help out here to get this situated. So definitely, dub.sh/when AirPods live. I think it may be even doing a redirect, so we'll see. But yeah, let me know if you still have any issues, and definitely want to get some folks who haven't signed up yet to win the AirPods Max. Basically, it's one of my few devices that have Lightning, and I'm going to give it away because it's just that time of the year. But I also appreciate you because it's helping me start this new podcast with Ronald, which is what we're doing here, AI news and so forth. So I actually want to get to know you better and get to deliver more value for going on air and for you taking your time on a Friday to kind of join me for this type of thing. So definitely appreciate that and all that happening there. So Cool. One of the other things that came up on my radar was that DeepSeek Coder V2, Anhui, was able to get this running using an M2 Ultra, and it's coding at 25 tokens per second. And so what's really cool about that is one of the interesting things I found is like, like what is DeepSeek Coder, and like kind of what does that kind of have to do with like everything that's going on, and like, can I use GPT, use these different types of things? So with DeepSeek Coder, when you have this type of model, you can run this locally on your own computer. And with that, the advantage you get is this mixture of extra architecture. And so that basically means that you have access to this really large model, but then, from a performance perspective, you're going to be activating 21 billion parameters. And that means your machine can kind of narrowly focus and sort of replicate what this like GPT-4 does. And so apparently the capabilities of this model are applicable to a GPT-4 Turbo in code-specific tasks. So I thought that was really interesting because it actually supports 338 programming languages and expanded from 86 in the previous version. And then there's also 128K token context length. And so that means you can dump more code into this thing and get this model up and running for you. So this is a really cool model, and it basically outperforms some of the closed source versions that are available, like GPT-4 Turbo, Claude 3 Opus, Gemini 1.5 Pro in coding and math benchmarks. So this is publicly available, and it can be accessed through Hugging Face, and it should also be accessible through Ollama. So if we just go to Ollama.com, and then we go to models, so it's probably listed at some of the DeepSeek Coder V2. So this is the mixture of experts model, was updated 3 weeks ago, and you can get the different quantizations there. So definitely feel free to check that out. If anyone has checked it out or been using it for any code, definitely go check it out. So yeah, that sounds good. Awesome. Yeah, appreciate it. And then another one, speaking of models, we're going to have another big release coming up on Taco Tuesday. So this Tuesday, my friends, Tuesday. Actually, let me just put the dramatic music on so that we can just... That's right. So I'm trying to do a really like legit radio show here, and you got to have like the music on point, right? So Meta will release the largest Llama 3 model with 405 billion parameters. That's right, 405 billion parameters on July 23rd. This multimodal and multilingual model will feature a large context window. So during this training, apparently it matches GPT-4 levels. And so what that means, my friends, is that we can possibly have a GPT-4 that's running on our machines. Like, that's right. Yeah. Like, is that real? So I'm really excited for this. The thing is this, like, there's a caveat. When you have that large of a model, how much RAM do you need to run that type of stuff? And it turns out you'll need probably around like 512 gigabytes of RAM that's like readily available, and like a whole ton of hardware to actually run this model, and not to mention to fine tune it and do what you need to do. And so that's kind of like, like sort of this impossible task to do. Hardware wise, what do I need to run it? So I think it's going to be the discovery for the next coming days as the model drops, because apparently you should be able to quantize it down and try to run it on another machine. And it'll be really interesting. I think one tool that I would recommend, I made an LLM calculator that should try to help with this calculation. And so if we think about like the model being quantized to 8-bit, and then we just say like, I have 256 gigs of RAM, you should be able to run a 252 billion parameter model. If you quantize it down to 4-bit, you should be able to run 505. So depending on your quantization levels, even like 6-bit, 8-bit. And so this is running with 256 gigabytes of RAM. So like if you have like, oh man, this is just really hairy. So here's the thing. So if you have 128 gig computer, and if you get like 2 of them combined together, you should be able to maybe do this. And so there's an interesting project that has been released from these guys, Alex Shima, and it kind of comes at a perfect time, really. It's basically what this guy has been doing is he's been able to connect multiple Macs together to run inference. That's right. So like you can connect multiple Macs together and then have them run your, the models and stuff. And so he actually has open sourced the code, and his name is Alex Chima. I think you can find him at AC_crypto. Okay. Yes. And you should be able to, he has the open source code for here, and it's like from XO Labs. So if we go check out XO Labs, that should basically able to give us the code that we need to run this whole thing. So it's like run your own AI cluster at home with everyday devices. So you can even run this, apparently, like you can have a bunch of devices like your phone, your iPad, different Macs, and basically you have the distributed inference system. And that is pretty awesome. So if you want to go check that out, definitely get that up and running and see if you can get that, flying before the models release. I already see myself listening to you while commuting to work every single day. Hey, I appreciate that. That's so awesome. I definitely appreciate that. So really fun, such great podcasting skills. Yeah. Cool. I appreciate the feedback. Yeah, I'm kind of new to this podcasting game and trying to get up in this. And this show's kind of like a live stream is a little bit of a rough draft of where I'm going with this. Myself and then my co-host Ronald, who's currently traveling right now. We usually do this type of news coverage, and he's an app developer. And right now, basically, I'm exploring the AI space after having left Apple for 12 years. And so getting into AI, meeting cool engineers, meeting people like you. So if you build software, if you do really cool stuff, I'd love to meet you. I want to meet you in person. I want to meet you over whatever, drop a link, hit me up on the DMs. I'm on X. Let's connect, because I want to find out what you're building. I'm building stuff too. And I feel like the more that we can share together, we can learn and grow together. And part of this whole journey, which is nice, is the fact that whatever I'm learning, I can pass that on to you. And maybe it can inspire you to do something, and then you can tell someone else about it. And so for me, I'm based in the Bay Area, also in Hawaii when it gets cold here in the Bay Area. And for me, cold is when it gets lower than 74 degrees Fahrenheit. So yeah, that's my struggle. So I'll deal with it, and I go travel and do the thing. So one of the last things I kind of wanted to leave you off with before we get into the raffle stuff, if you haven't done so, definitely go check out the link here to go, sign yourself up for the raffle. It's like dub.sh/win-airpods-live. And if you fill out that survey, it just takes less than 1 minute. You'll be entered. So make sure you do that in the next 5 minutes before I finish this demonstration, because that's when we're going to go do the raffle. And as of right now, we have about 41 people who have made the responses. So if you get up in there, you'll be, actually now we're up to 46. Let's go. Okay. Yeah. So you'll definitely be, chosen among the three. And I'll literally ship it out to you wherever you are in the world. So if there's like a DHL that can get to you, it'll show up. That's just the kind of dedication and the type of care I have. And as a thank you just for helping me better get this information out there, because I'm trying to serve you in a podcast style. So the last thing that kind of came into the radar that I put is from this gentleman named Neil. And this guy, I don't know if you have realized it, but he's released this app called Super Whisper. And what it does, it's really, really cool. So think about having like voice control on your computer, but having context about everything. So what he is doing, he's just able to, with his app that's running in the background, point to like a tweet and then have it reply to a tweet. And what it does is that the problem with dictation, especially on the Mac, is, or just on any type of device, is the fact that whenever you tell it to type something out, it won't really know like how to spell it correctly. But with his app Super Whisper, it's actually embedded as part of the operating system. And so what it's doing in essence is actually trying to get the context of that app, and then actually displaying how to like when you say, okay, hey, I want you to look up something on my computer and then tell me like what's in that folder. And so because he has a terminal window up, what he did in this demonstration is exactly what that is, just kind of in plain English, told it what to do. And so what was cool about that is the fact that it actually entered this terminal command to run. So he didn't say the terminal command to run. He just says, hey, can you look up this thing or look up the top thing in my folder? And it did that. And so he's processing it in real time, sending it up to the server, and then getting that back down. So by the time you finish entering the information, it gives you that stuff there. So that was really cool. And then here he is actually replying to Yassine. And so to spell some people's names on Twitter, they can be really weird. And so what he was able to do here basically was just kind of say, hey, make a reply. And then he says his reply. And usually for most types of translation programs, as soon as it's done, it like tries to do some processing step, but he's doing the processing on the fly as you're speaking, which is really, really cool. So I would definitely, if you haven't had a chance to go check out Neil's app, it's called Super Whisper app. And so Super Whisper has its own Twitter account, and it's superwhisper.com for those who are thinking about doing it. It's basically, it's like a faster way of writing, text and stuff without all that extra overhead that you normally would have when you're like doing like voice control types of things. So I think he also gives you like a very generous like free plan. So 15 minutes of recording using all the pro features, and then supports 100 different languages, and you have custom prompts. And then the paying one is actually very reasonable too. So he's what I like about this guy is he's an independent builder, just like others in this space who are building. And so what actually has ended up happening, there's been a lot of really cool people who've been lifetime supporters. And so once you buy the app, you basically support them for the lifetime, and it's actually allowed him to be an independent developer and do this type of work. So definitely go support our friends who are building cool stuff. None of these people are sponsored on the show. This is just me demonstrating my love for technology and just kind of giving you aware of other things. And if you're a builder yourself, definitely reach out. I want to play with your stuff. I like to play with things and pay for things and, spend my own money and do that type of stuff there. So yeah, definitely. So I think it's come down to the final hour. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. So I think it's about to be time to give away the AirPods Max. So for those who filled out the survey at dub.sh/winairpodslive, I'm about to do the cutoff right now. And whoever's like finished the survey, you're going to be in here. So let's just I'm going to refresh my little survey thing and just kind of get a number of who is on here and how many. So we have 47 people who filled out the survey. And then let me refresh the Google sheet that it has dumped it out. And so let me just go ahead and grab this here and then put this into a sheet. So far, 48 people. Cool. So let me see if I can grab this here and show y'all, because it's really cool. I'm going to try to get this going on my screen so that you could just see the first names and stuff. And that's how we do these things. And so what I was thinking was that these are all the people who have signed up, and we have up to 48. So number 1 through about 48. And so mine isn't opening. Oh no. GT Sky Moon 22. Yikes. Yo, I'm just going to put your name right here. GT Sky Moon 22. If you win, send me a DM. And then pop your email so that we can hit that up. So you can hit me up at RayFernando1337, just like my YouTube name, just on X, and then send me a DM and with your email. So go do that right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask Siri to generate a random number basically between 1 and 49. And so, basically, congrats to the winner, about 2% chance for each person. So thanks, bro. Yeah. And so the random number that Siri generates will be the winner on this list. So these are all the first names here. So I'll announce them. So let's go. Let's just do this right now. So let's just go. So this is for the AirPods Max, and I will ship them to anywhere in the world as a thank you for filling out the survey. So the good thing about this is next week, I have a bonus for you. So even if you don't win today and you haven't filled out the survey, or you're in the middle of filling out the survey, you can still finish it, because next week I'm going to announce something really, really cool. So, and for those who are already on the list, you're just going to be re-entered for that. So I really definitely appreciate that. Siri, make me win. Yeah. Okay. So, whoops. Like Siri is going off right now because I said the S word. So I gotta stop that. Okay. So let me see if I can change the cameras so that it shows, maybe it shows here. Okay, cool. pick a number between 1 and 49. The number has to be random. So the winner is number 31. I don't know if you could see that there. It's kind of hard to see my screen. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Can I do one camera? And then I could do this one. Yeah. Number 31. Yes. So if you are number 31, let's go ahead and see who that is. So number 31 on this list is Jawad, Jaouad. So Jawad, you are the lucky winner. And so for those who signed up, if you were number 30 or 32, you were like that close, just for the FYI. So as a result of filling out the survey, I actually have your email captured. And so I'll be reaching out to you via email and to let you know, and we'll be exchanging contact information so that I can ship out the AirPods to you. So congratulations to Jawad. Jawad? I think I'm pronouncing the name correctly. So yeah, congratulations. I think that's just really, really cool. This is awesome. And so I was talking to you a little bit about the added bonus. So who was 30 and 32? It looks like Prashant and Nate. Oh, you know what? I wasn't sharing the screen. Here you go. Yeah. So 31 is Jawad, and Nate and Joe and Vidi and Prashant. So these are the people who were kind of around that area. So this is number 31 on this list, just FYI. And then our friend GT Sky Moon, who couldn't fill out the form, but you're down there as well. So yeah, congrats. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, Jawad, I'll be reaching out to you via email to let you know that you've won. And so, yeah, what I think would be really cool, what I'm going to have for next week is I'm going to do a raffle for a $25 Amazon gift card. That's right. So I'm going to do a raffle for a $25 Amazon gift card for next week. So if you haven't won, definitely tune in for next week, because I'm going to have Ronald back on the show, and it's going to be the both of us, and then we're going to do the same thing. So we're basically going to go through this list, and we're going to just have it pick a random number, and that's going to be the winner of the show. There's probably a much cooler way. I should have actually gone to use Claude 3.5 and see if I can have it generate the actual like an app or something for me to pick a random number, but then that would have taken too long, and I don't know. If you want to see that, maybe I might do a stream this weekend where we just kind of code it. It can be kind of fun. So yeah, this is Ray Fernando. Thank you for tuning in to the My AI stream. This is our show. It's going to be called the AI Tech Salon. And so I got a little website that I'm building for this. And this is kind of like moving into the real podcast space. I feel like I'm going to be like a legit influencer now. Yeah, go from engineer to influencer. So that's just who we are. So definitely appreciate y'all for tuning in. And Jawad, I'll be reaching out to you. Congratulations for winning the AirPods Max. And for those who want to stay tuned for next week, stay tuned in for the show. And I have live streams. And the next week on Monday through Friday, I'm going to be having a stream every evening. One just about coding different things and kind of giving you an update on, on how I do things. And the other part of it is going to be learning GPT-2 from scratch. So I'll just continue that series. And we're going to be doing that. So definitely stay tuned in. I appreciate everyone who's been able to tune into the show. And I'll see y'all next week. Peace.